Hello, I want to talk about illegal immigration and Trump's wall. Growing up in Northeast Georgia and working in the Women's Center at a hospital in Gainesville, Georgia, I'm very familiar with illegal immigration. Gainesville, Georgia, having a very large poultry industry and has had a large Mexican population for as long as I can remember. I see both sides of this issue, but I actually lean in favor of the Mexicans partly. What people have to understand is that the Mexicans were encouraged to come here by our large farming corporations, and they came in droves seeking a better life. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, poultry companies like Fieldale, Marjack, Pilgrim's Pride, and others advertised in Mexico for high-paying in Mexico jobs to come to Northeast Georgia. They even had maps and instructions on how to get here and how to get a job. This is very similar to U.S. workers going to another country or something for a high-paying oil job. All right, we would go over there even though we're doing it legally. We go over there for oil, and we're away from our families for a year or 6 months so we can make some money, send it home. It's the same thing. The only difference is this is done illegally. And there's deeper things to it, and I'm going to explain them. These people go through hell to work 100+ hours a week for only a few $100s a week. They work in substandard conditions with no benefits, no insurance, no workers' comp, or anything, and if they screw up, they are fired and deported. This is modern-day slavery, and it has been going on for decades. These companies don't pay anything a legitimate business would have to pay, such as insurance, workers' comp, and payroll taxes on their employees. For those that don't know, payroll tax is above the tax taking from your check, which illegals don't pay either. And is paid by your employer, and it's expensive. United States workers working for a job, you're never going to understand payroll taxes because you never see them. The employer pays it. But these companies don't have to pay it because these employees aren't on the books. These illegal immigrants work hard. As far as I see in the Northeast Georgia area, they are mostly family-oriented people and want to be Americans while holding on to their culture as well. Many name their children John, Bill, Mark, Helen, and Susan instead of Pedro, Carlos, and Maria in hopes of them assimilating into American society. This is unlike African names such as Jarquavius and Shaniqua that we all know too well. What I've never understood about illegal immigration and enforcement is that the authorities such as ICE and the Sheriff's Department for decades has routinely gone into trailer parks and apartment buildings at 4 in the morning to round up the illegals and deport them without ever going to these businesses to investigate or prosecute them for tax fraud, slavery, human trafficking, lack of proper insurance, benefits, minimum wages, or even workers' comp. It's funny to me that I've never heard a Democrat or a Republican speak of these atrocities when debating illegal immigration. These large farming corporations claim if they abided by the law, the price for poultry, pork, and produce would be too expensive for Americans. That is bullshit. These corporate executives all enjoy multi-million-dollar homes on Lake Lanier, have beach properties and private jets. Why does a poultry company in Northeast Georgia need a jet? To check out chickens in California, I guess. Give me a break. This is greed and another example of corruption at the national, state, and local level. This is slavery, similar to sweatshops with 10-year-olds making our clothes and shoes abroad. This is true for nearly every farming industry in the country, such as apples, peaches, oranges. onions, pork, and cattle. For decades now, there have been reports of these people being beaten or starved to increase productivity right here in Georgia. I have vocalized these subjects to blacks I work with over the years, and when I hear them talk of slavery, and I find it odd that they often laugh at the subject. I would think they would understand more than anyone, but it seems to me they enjoy feeling like somebody is beneath them. I'm not trying to offend anyone here, but it's my honest opinion from having these conversations with many black people over the years in different parts of the state. On the other side of this issue, these people have a lot of babies, and they usually deliver as soon as they get here, illegally. They have representatives called cousins that get them every social benefit we have to offer. They get food stamps, welfare, housing, cell phones, internet, and so on, all paid by us, the hardworking Americans, again, the middle class. These cousins or representatives are underground businesses that take a percentage of the benefits, and they usually even get fake Social Security numbers to vote and draw Social Security. They don't have driver's licenses or insurance, and they don't understand English or can read English. Some of these illegals bring in drugs and form gangs and are involved in a lot of illegal and dangerous activity. Nowadays, about 95% of construction laborers and many Hispanic construction companies are making huge sums of money and sending a large portion of that money, tax-free money, back to Mexico. This has been going on for a long time, and this is what's really going to hurt us economically. Who's at fault? And that's a tough question. Who is at fault? In my opinion, again, this is a multi-layered problem that started with corporate corruption and weak authorities that never investigated or prosecuted these companies. Plus, our laws for natural-born citizens in the U.S. protect families with babies born here in the nick of time. I wonder about NAFTA and how it killed American industry and severely hurt the middle class. This is by design. All of it is by design. Because of the social benefits and programs, and because most Hispanics around the globe are socialist, they vote Democrat, increasing taxes that they usually don't pay to get the benefits, and the government gets more control. Create a problem and have a solution ready to sell to the conservative public. And here's the solution. Trump's wall. This wall Trump wants is way too little, way too late, and completely ignores the actual issues that I've laid out in this video. What if I told you the true purpose of the wall is not to keep the illegals out, but to keep the Americans in? What do you mean by that? Keep the Americans in? Think about it. If something catastrophic happens in the United States, such as a nuclear war, uncontrolled disease, or civil war, Americans would have to flee. A wall would stop us, and we will all die. There is a report from a defense contractor that has the U.S. population for 2025 at 50 million people. I'm not going to explain that here today, but it is real. The puppet masters plan at least 50 years ahead. That's how they are so successful. So you may ask, what could be done to fix it? A wall? No. The problem again is big government and social benefits. There are too many capable Americans getting taken care of without working. Cut out all the benefits and let the United States citizens starve for a day or two, and they will find a way to eat. They will throw pine straw. They will cut grass. They will pick onions and pluck chickens, frame houses, and so on. Then the illegals won't have any work and they will have to go home. Get rid of minimum wages and let the free market decide the cost of labor. If there's no food stamps, Americans will go to work. Some people think that will increase crime. All the more reason for the public to be armed. Things would settle quickly and everyone would be better off in the long run. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless.